For decades, parents have complained about kids running short of money and having to move back home. Well, now, oh, how the turntables have turned. An increasing number of baby boomers apparently are moving in with their adult children to help make ends meet in most cases. Michael Neuenschwander is a local certified financial planner from Outlook Wealth Advisors, and he's here with us this morning. Michael, welcome back. How you doing?
Good. Glad to be here. Thanks, Owen.
Thank you, sir, for coming in and talking about this. Do we know, I don't know if it's percentage-wise or numbers, how many boomers are moving in with their grown children?
Yeah, so it's definitely on the rise. And like you said, I mean, the typical scenario was kids still staying at home, but it's reversing. And so right now that number is about 13% of adults living with their kids instead, but it's actually gone up by about a third over the last 20 years. So carry that forward, we'll be approaching 20%, maybe by the time a lot of our viewers are having to kind of worry about it.
Interesting. What do you think is adding to this, or this increase and contributing to it?
Yeah, there's a couple of causes. I mean, we can even kind of break it down to sort of early and later. Like early on, though, I mean, we have a lot of individuals where, certainly today versus when a lot of the boomers 40 years ago were kind of young adults. Both parents are working, for the most part, and childcare has gotten astronomically expensive. Even last year, childcare went up by about 13%. So the average cost for an infant for childcare is approaching $17,000 a year, wow. and a toddler is only a couple $1,000 cheaper. Yes. Early on, it may be the parents are kind of moving in, staying close to the kids and grandkids to help, so that both parents can still work. Because obviously, a $17,000 hit out of somebody's paycheck is pretty significant.
Sure.
So they're helping out there. But then later in life, it sort of becomes more of the elder care, the health care issues, where it says, well, if mom and dad are getting up in years, or certainly if one has already passed, this is, want to be able to help mom and dad, but Medicare does a good job for doctors and hospitals. It really doesn't cover what they call chronic care, needing somebody needs some care at home, or eventually an assisted living or nursing home, and those costs run anywhere from a couple of $1,000 a month up to $8,000 or $9,000 a month. And so most people just can't afford it, so let's have mom and dad move in, or let's help them out, in that way, so we can provide some care there.
And what are some of the risks of doing that to these families?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest risk that comes with it is sort of, in one sense, shortchanging yourself. I mean, there's the same advice I give to people when they talk about, how much should I set aside for college? Well, on the other end is how much should you sacrifice of your own savings to kind of try to help mom and dad. And the catch is, just like you can get a loan for college, there are some programs on the elder side to provide some assistance, or even though, so Medicare won't pay for things, Medicaid will. The problem with Medicaid, though, is you pretty much have to spend all your money first. But the catch for people in between, for the parents, may be, if you sacrifice everything to help mom and dad, are you perpetuating that cycle? Because now you have nothing for retirement.
Yeah, I was just thinking these families are kind of between a rock and a hard place in some respects, because you have growing children that you're still taking care of, and now we have aging parents, and some of us may be feeling like we're stuck in the middle.
Well, there's even the term called the sandwich generation.
Is that right?
Stuck in the middle. Yep. So that's one of the biggest risks. So are you going to perpetuate the cycle and not have enough for your own retirement? Then you got to have your kids help you out too.
Okay, let's go to the positive side of this, because I know there are some beautiful positives. Relationships continue and develop. We're there for each other. How can we do this in a healthy way financially, if we need to? Or maybe we don't even need to. Maybe it's something we want to do.
So, well, and if it comes to it, so certainly if somebody has the financial means, where it says, certainly I'm going to have mom or dad move in, and we're going to take care of them, and we're still going to be just fine for retirement, then that may be what they choose to do. But as we said, in a lot of cases, it is financial need, that causes it too. And so the best things that people can kind of do to plan and make sure that doesn't happen to them, or at least doesn't happen out of necessity, is making sure you are setting aside and for your own retirement, making sure you have a plan for it. And one of the easiest ways, I mean, we've mentioned the 401k and savings for people before, but you can't shortchange yourself, and the 401k is simple. If your company gives you a match, at least put in enough to get the match. You may put in 6, they give you 3. Nowhere else in the world you're getting a 50% return on your own money overnight. But making sure that you ultimately have a plan. So if you know you do need to help mom or dad, how much can you afford to do that without risking your own retirement?
Well, and at 13% of boomers moving in, and we expect that number to continue to grow, there's a greater chance over time someone might find themselves in this position.
Yep.
And obviously, the sooner, the better. But there's no guarantees.
No, there's no guarantees on it, and so it's sort of, we kind of have the saying, it's common, but hope for the best, but plan for the worst.
Right.
And so when it comes to planning and retirement, I mean, that's why I'm a certified financial planner, saying you got to address these concerns, and even if they don't happen, what about your own long-term care, your own retirement, so that you kind of have, here's what we hope happens, but here's plan B or plan C, in case we have to make some adjustments.
And is there, is there any point of no return, or we can always make some progress in the right direction? Right? Even if we're really close to retirement or just retired, there's always some things we can do.
Yeah, it's never too late. It's like the old saying, the best time to do something may have been 20 years ago, but the next best time is right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Michael Neuenschwander, certified financial planner with Outlook Wealth Advisors. Michael, always good to see you. Thanks for coming in. And good luck to the families out there.